I am a sheriff's deputy in Florida, ask me anything.
Before we start, be sure to like and subscribe to be the first to know about new videos. Comment your answer below.
Will you ever defeat Florida Man? It's a never-ending battle, friend. Yeah, like what the hell is in the air in Florida? My mom says it's the heat that drives everyone crazy, laugh out loud. How many Florida Man type situations actually happen? News headline worthy? Probably once a week. We always race to get to the fun calls first. Craziest incident? Someone stole one of our vehicles and led everyone on a high-speed chase on the freeway. Florida man steals cop cars, which led to high-speed chase. It was all over the news, haha. Would you recommend living in Florida, specifically Miami? Except for the ever-changing weather and crackheads, Florida is fantastic. Haha. I love a bit further north than Miami, but I have been there a few times. That place is always incredibly busy. Coolio, thanks for the response and your service, officer. Do you feel like law enforcement gets demonized on this site unjustly? Also, I just wanted to say thank you for your service. I'm personally grateful that people like you are out there putting your lives on the line in order to protect us and uphold the law. There are bad apples in every occupation, sure, but for the most part you guys do a wonderful job of keeping everyone safe. I appreciate it. I very much appreciate that. As you can see from some of the other comments in this thread, some people will hate law enforcement no matter what. I join to help people, as cheesy as it sounds. I find on social media we are hated, but in my day-to-day job people often thank me and are very kind once they realize I'm just human. There are bad people in this profession and it's a shame that they make it in, and are able to do the things they do. Where can I get one of those Smokey the Bear hats? Those are our state troopers. You don't want to run into those guys. How well do you know Florida Man and why is he always up to no good? I know quite a few of them on a first-name basis. It's usually the excessive crack usage that leads to Florida Man headlines. Do you really force sex offenders to do the sex offender shuttle? Also, what are the best and worst parts of the job? Best part is walking away from a call knowing you helped someone when they needed it. Whether it be someone in medical distress, scared for their life, or even just simple day-to-day troubles. The worst part is the public portrayal on social media. It really shows one side of our job, and usually the bad apples of this profession. I find that most people love us, and often thank us daily. It's just the media that shows why you should hate law enforcement when it's really only a few horrible humans that are shown. Most people will stop to have conversations with us. I am only human after all. I see. Thank you. Both for your answer, and for your service to the community. You didn't tell us what a deputy basically does. What do they do? So it changes around the US. Places like NY and LA have police departments which are the largest agency of law enforcement. Down here in Florida police departments are very small and only cover cities. Sheriff's offices are county-wide. So we cover our whole entire county whole. The police departments only cover the smaller cities. So a deputy is the law enforcement for their specific county. What's proactivity basically? How would community relations help? Proactivity meaning cops are out there in communities. Often when people who are willing to commit crimes see police in action all day, they decide it's best to not commit these crimes. Community relations helps across the board. Getting to know the deputies that work your zones on a personal level is a great idea. Letting the community know to not be afraid of law enforcement, and that we're here to help. They go hand in hand really. More police out doing good work, as well as socializing with communities. The bad guys see this and decide to take their crimes elsewhere. What are your thoughts on castle doctrine / stand your ground? I agree with it. I do not think you should have to run away from those threatening your life. My girlfriend works retail, dollar store, and consistently has to deal with meth heads and tweakers. Do you have any advice on how to safely deal with these people from your experience? She gets assaulted like once a week. Yes. Easiest way for these people to go away, to jail, is to have them trespassed. Have her talk with her manager about setting up a legal document for local police to allow them to instantly trespass people from the property. This works best so that the manager doesn't have to be present every time in order for them to be trespassed. If they return after a trespass has been issued, they go to jail for trespass after warning. Thanks for the reply. I just wish the local cops actually gave a shit. The only time I have seen them actually attend was 1. When someone broke one of the store windows overnight and she wasn't sure if someone was in the store still. And 2. When one of them shoved her while I was there. I took him down and pinned him while she called the police. They only responded because I took the guy down and sat on him. See, that's horrible. My department shows up no matter what. You call and say I need a deputy here and we show up. Sorry that you have had that negative interaction with your local police. I'm not sure how strict the laws are there, but in Florida you have the right to protect yourself when in fear, which is what I would advise she do. When did you feel the most badass? I still get that adrenaline rush when I get to turn on my lights and sirens. I often like going to medical calls. I can usually make it there a minute or two before fire rescue and am able to provide some sort of aid to those in distress. Knowing you helped someone in an urgent time of need is always a great feeling. What are the most effective ways to prevent the most common crimes? Where can we see what are the most common crimes? You know, it really changes in different parts of our county as to what the most common crimes are. Higher income areas usually have burglary of motor vehicles, which they can fix by just locking their car doors. Haha. Lower income areas often have drug problems. I would say police presence, proactivity, and community relations are great ways to stop crime before it happens. What's your favorite burger joint? Five Guys for sure. Though I usually need a nap afterwards. Funniest story? Well, last night I took a guy to jail for something. It was a very long story, but on the way to jail he told me he was a time traveler. He explained that he was Hitler's assassin and that the time vortex was off. He advised that I should let him go or else the skyjackers would come and kill me. I got to hear about his time traveling stories for 35 minutes lol. You ever feel lazy and just let a crime pass? Absolutely. It's usually when I see someone do something stupid in traffic and I let it slide.
You have been visited by Sad Cat. Like this video and subscribe to the channel to make Sad Cat happy again.